everybody, welcome to the Redbridge Science channel. Today we are looking at distillation. Distillation. Now again, it ends in ation, which means that it's a process, it's something that we do. Our learning objective: can I separate two liquids from each other and then explain how that is possible? Okay? So in our side arm conical flask here, we've got two liquids. There is water and there's ink. Okay, water and ink. You may also be able to see that we've got some, we've put some little bits of porcelain in there. That's often called anti-bumping granules. The idea of that is to try to allow the mixture to heat up gradually. I don't want to overheat it too quickly, too soon. So they will absorb a lot of the Bunsen's heat and allow the mixture to heat up a little bit more gently. So we've got water and ink inside our side arm conical flask. Got a rubber bung in the top, and here's the side arm. And I'm going to have over here just a test tube. I'm using the beaker just to keep it steady. And the side arm goes into the test tube over there. Okay, so goggles on, and let's heat our mixture. Okay, this area here is going to get very hot. This area over here is obviously going to be colder because it's further away from the Bunsen. So what's going to be happening here is evaporation. And I'm hoping that we can separate the water from the ink. And it shouldn't take too long before hopefully one of those two will begin to evaporate, begin to boil. And the reason it will do that is because the Bunsen has heated it enough to reach the boiling point. Now the diagram for the experiment would look like this. Okay, got the heat-proof mat, the Bunsen, tripod, gauze. Okay, so this is our conical flask, but it's a side arm conical flask today because it has a side arm which goes into a test tube, and we've got the rubber bung on the top. So that's how you would draw this experiment. Now while that's doing its thing, I'm going to just talk you through a couple of words here. So the process that we're using today, distillation, okay? Distillation is the process of separating two substances from each other. In this case, it's going to be two liquids. Evaporation, I'm hoping you're familiar with from previous experiments. Evaporation is another word for boiling, and you can see that something in there is now beginning to boil. It's turning from a liquid into a gas, and I'm hoping that that gas will come up, it will go down the side arm. So this is evaporation taking place here. But the third process going on is called condensation. Condensation. And that's taking place over here. Now what's happening is, here it's hot and it's evaporating, it's boiling, it's becoming a gas. And then the gas travels down the side arm, and you may be able to pick up on the camera here. There we are. It's condensing. It's turning back to liquid because it is cooling down again. Now I'm going to stop at that point. I'm going to turn the Bunsen off because that's enough. And the condensation, okay, has turned the gas back into liquid because it is cooling down. So it heats up here and it cools down over here. So that in the tube here we've got cold or coolish water. Now this is just water. Okay, I can tell it's water because it's completely clear, whereas the ink, of course, was giving our mixture the blue colour. So here we've got pure water, and if I was to continue with that for much longer, in here I would be left with just the ink. So I have been able to separate the water from the ink. And the reason that that was possible is because water has a boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. So I've managed to get it to 100 degrees Celsius and make the water evaporate and then condense. But ink has got a much higher boiling point than water. Ink won't boil until it gets quite a lot higher than 100 degrees Celsius. So my ink has not boiled, it has not yet evaporated. Okay, so back to the diagram. And the three words that I want to show you here are evaporation, which is taking place here inside the side-on conical flask, and that's where water, liquid, turns into gas, turns into steam as it gets hot. And over here we have condensation, and that is where the gas or the steam cools. Okay, it's quite helpful. Look, condensation cools, CO, and it turns back into liquid. Okay, and this liquid that we collect is known as our distillate. It's the liquid that we've collected by doing the process of distillation. So this is our distillate. And the reason why we are able to separate these two, so the explanation of how it's possible, is because they've got different boiling points. Water has a boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius, but ink has a much higher boiling point, which we have not yet reached. Thank you, everybody.